Going on? Tim with Perkins Roofing. Here we are again at our high-rise metal roof restoration. You can see my guys behind me backing out screws and putting the new screws in. That's part of the process, is changing out these old rusted screws for stainless steel fasteners. So all these screws are getting replaced, and you can actually see two tones, right? Here's the bright new red color. Here's the old sun faded metal roof. So we'll get down there and I'll show you what everything's looking like as it's in progress. See, here's our new red versus the old red behind me, the painted red versus the sun faded red. And we'll check all that out shortly. I'll fly the drone around the building so you can see how everything's looking. You can see we're painting up back behind me there. And right here, you can actually check out, got some mixing buckets here. This is PB70, is the waterproofing from Polyglass. And you can see that right here, this is the color for the PB70 on the lid. They have about, I think it's like 16 standard colors of this paint that you can get made. This red is one of them. They also have some custom colors that you can make. If you do custom colors, you have to order in like minimum quantities, so you can get custom colors as well if you need to. But check it out, you can see how great this waterproofing is looking as we're going around the building. And the guys doing the screws right here on the wall where the white is. That's the base flashing, so they still have the paint over that with the red, but that's the base flashing on the wall there, and that is PB77. All right, so I'm gonna show you. This stuff is really thick. You can actually see it's swiped on here how thick this stuff is, and it's embedding these new screws. So these are all the new screws, and look how the sealant, the coating actually embeds the screws into the system so that the screws aren't just exposed. So you can see here, look how these screws, they get coated in, they get embedded into the system. Like, nothing's gonna get through that. And then versus like, there's what the old screws look like. And this metal's really hot today. It's like 100 degrees, it's like melting. But you can see the old screws, they're not sealed in. They're just simply screwed on. So we replace these, and then we're sealing on. And this is just the first coat. This is just the first coat here. So you can see this stuff is solid. Good. These harnesses are so uncomfortable, but gotta be safe. So the walls here, you see the wall flashing. This is actually cool to the touch. This is hot, and reason being, this is white, this is red. So this red is like 40-50% SRI. That's solar reflectivity index. That's the percent of the sun's rays that reflect back into the sky. Whereas this white is almost like 90. So I think it's like 93 or something like that, SRI. So this is not even hot. Like, this is cool, relatively. Whereas this is like melting, like trying to sit on this. But I just wanted to show you the way that this looks sealed in. So again, this is the first coat. I'll get some additional video. You can see we kind of did up to this ridge cap here, and we're coming over the edge. And then down on the end, we didn't get the end yet because we have to wear a special harness to reach all the way down there. It's called a yo-yo harness. So we have the yo-yo harnesses just for the eave detail here, but they're not hooked up right now. We have the regular harnesses hooked into the wall right now, not the yo-yos. So we've got to get the yo-yos hooked in to do this eave detail here. And you can see the difference between the old coating and the new coating. It's pretty easy to spot that. So we still have to finish this first coat and do the eave details. And we're still changing some of these screws out. As I come down here, you can see a huge difference between the new screws and the old screws. You see these right here are the new screws. Nice, shiny, stainless steel. Here's the old screws, rusted out. You can see we're putting the old screws in this box here. We have a box for all the new screws. And then here's what they look like again when they get coated over. And here's our flashing detail, thermoplastic, and that's all sealed in with fabric. So you can see this is a really sturdy system when it gets down to it. I'm gonna show you some of the details close up now, so you can take a look at the details. So you can see here's the new stainless steel screws. They're pretty long. See here are the new screws, and just for comparison's sake, new stainless steel screw, old galvanized rusted out screw. And that's gonna get coated over. When that gets coated over, it's gonna get completely encapsulated like that. Encapsulated. And then look at the thermoplastic. These ones are really sealed in. On the thermoplastic, on the wall flashings here, the PB77. Whereas this regular red is PB70. That's a water-based acrylic coating versus a thermoplastic. So these are two different coatings. This one's water-based. The white one is thermoplastic, PB77. Water-based, thermoplastic. And this one is heavier duty, and it seals, and it's a lot thicker. So this gets brushed on, and then this one we coat on. I'll show you what the coating looks like when we're putting that in, and I'll show you what it looks like when we're taking out all these screws and replacing the old ones with the new ones. The curvature of the metal tiles actually makes it more difficult to roll. Generally, this would be a good spraying job, but the problem is being this high up, if you're spraying, you're gonna get overspray. And we have like multi-million-dollar boats and stuff below us, so spraying is dangerous. That's why we have to roll on, even though spraying on would be much faster. It's just, look at all the boats down there. If you spray and the wind catches it, who knows? You don't want to be painting multi-million-dollar white boats red, or these $20-30 million houses down there on the intercoastal. So that's why we're rolling the paint on this project. So you can see this is a pretty killer project here. This is going to save them a ton of money, because replacing this metal roof on this high rise, you have to get cranes in, get all these metal pieces. It would cost an arm and a leg. I can't even fathom how much money it cost. I think I had to ballpark this one time like 5 or 10 years ago, and it was close to $1 million to do this re-roof. So restoration wise, you're looking at 1/10 of the price to restore this metal roof rather than re-roof it. And it's just heavy duty, sturdy, waterproofing. Coat number 1, you can see these details. And when we get the second coat on, it's gonna be so thick. Like this stuff becomes bulletproof want this completed. So it's very important to make sure that you do maintenance and stuff like that. If you're not going to replace the roof, you need to do things like this to get things completed. So here at the edge, you can really see the old versus the new and where our paint line ends, because the harnesses won't reach further back that way. Here's our wall flashing area that's getting sealed in. So these are some of the most important areas of this project. The wall flashings and the valleys. See, we coated this valley down here, and that kind of gets stopped by the harness right here. But we got to get tucked in under these returns here and get underneath the return. That's a very important area to seal. You can actually see there's some old caulking right here. This all needs to get coated over to get a nice fine finish in this return. And we got to kind of coat under here as much as we can where the valley and the return transition. So thanks for watching part 2 of the metal roof restoration. This is Tim with Perkins Roofing signing off. It's a hot one. You can check us out for any construction related things that you need: exterior painting, waterproofing, windows, and door replacement. Perkins Construction, concrete restoration, that's Perkins Construction. You can reach us at 305-687-6521. For roofing, Miami-Dade, the Keys, Broward, that's 305-MIA Roof. For roofing up north, Palm Beach, Martin, St. Lucie counties, that is 561-559 Roof. And we will see you next time.